I am not sacred or simple. I am not a symbol or a joke. I am a cow. My world is wide, slow, and exact. It is built from the sound of chewing, the rhythm of breathing, and the gentle weight of time. And if you stay, I will show you how a creature made for stillness can still hold a universe between her ribs. Morning begins before light. The world hums like a kettle preparing to boil. My breath rises in pale clouds, and the frost on the grass sparkles, as if the field has been dusted with memory. I am large, but the cold makes even my body feel small. The barn creaks as the others stir. There is a sound that only cows make in the first minutes of dawn. Not quite a moo, more like a low reminder that we have all survived the dark together. When the farmer opens the gate, the air changes. The smell of feed, hay, and the distant promise of sun. He calls softly, though he doesn't have to. We move in a line that looks like patience. My hooves know every stone and hollow in this path. It is not ownership I feel, only belonging. The pasture waits, dressed in dew and slow gold. I begin to eat. You might think eating is mindless, but for us, it is a kind of meditation. The tongue knows what the eyes do not, which blades are sweetest, which still remember last night's rain. Every mouthful carries the flavor of earth and wind, and the slow miracle of green things turning into milk. I am not fast, I am not fierce, but slowness has its own wisdom. When I chew, the world has time to explain itself. When I look across the field, I see the line where the sky leans down to listen. In your world, movement means purpose. In mine, stillness is the purpose. There is rhythm in everything here. The flies, the bell around my neck, the steady ticking of the sun. We live inside a clock made of seasons. Spring is soft, full of calves learning their legs. Summer hums with heat and long grass. Autumn smells of apples fallen too early. And winter tastes like iron and patience. Do you know what trust feels like when it weighs half a ton? It is standing shoulder to shoulder with the herd, leaning into the warm presence of another body. It is the farmer's hand on my flank, gentle and practical. It is knowing that even in the storm, we are counted. The farmer walks between us like a moving fence. His boots are heavy with mud and intention. Sometimes he talks, not words for us, but words for the wind. I don't understand the meaning, but I understand the sound. It means care disguised as command. When he leaves, the dog takes his place, circling us like a thought that won't rest until everything is in its right spot. The calves are the punctuation marks of our story. They stumble, run, and shout their small, high songs into the day. One chews my ear, another kicks the air just because it can. They remind me that joy doesn't need a reason. They remind me of the body's innocence, how every step once felt like discovery. When the sun climbs high, the world slows again. We find shade beneath the old oak, the one that knows more of our history than any fence post. The heat presses down, and the air smells of dust and milk. My eyelids grow heavy, but I do not sleep. I drift. I hear the low murmur of the others, our chorus of contentment. Sometimes, on the hottest days, I wander toward the water trough. The reflection startles me, not because I don't recognize myself, but because I always forget how soft my own eyes are. Cows are always painted as dumb or docile, but look closely. Behind the calm is comprehension. We notice everything, the twitch of a crow's wing, the ripple in the grass, the sound of a gate half a mile away. When it rains, we turn together, shoulder to shoulder, head to tail, forming a wall of warmth. Rain has its own texture, sometimes sharp as pins, sometimes soft as whispering cloth. The storm doesn't scare us. It baptizes us again into the honesty of being alive. The world becomes small and close, and the smell of wet hide and soil becomes a comfort. Night falls differently here. There is no curtain, only a slow dimming until the stars arrive like quiet spectators. The pasture changes character, the air cools, and the noises sharpen. Frogs, owls, the soft mechanical rhythm of the milking shed in the distance. We lie down in the grass, our sides rising and falling together like waves. If you listen closely, the whole herd breathes in time. You may think of me as ordinary, but ordinary things, seen slowly, become extraordinary. My world runs on patience, on repetition so deep it becomes holy. Grass becomes strength, strength becomes tomorrow. The moon watches us the way the shepherd watches sheep, from far enough to understand, close enough to care. Sometimes, when the world is utterly still, I can hear my own heartbeat echoing against the field. It sounds like a drum that has always been there, keeping time with everything that eats, breathes, and endures. A fence that borders my world is both limit and promise. Beyond it, machines roar and hurry. They have their own kind of purpose, I suppose. But here, on this side, time folds differently. It isn't measured in minutes or profit. It's measured in the distance between calm and chaos. There are stories in my body, storms survived, calves birthed, winters waited through. My hide holds memories the way bark holds rings. When I breathe through centuries of rhythm, the endless dance between field, sky, and creature. People talk about freedom as distance. But for me, freedom is knowing that I belong exactly where I stand. The world fits around me like a well-worn yoke. I don't crave escape, I crave continuation. To live another morning, to chew another blade, to add one more quiet heartbeat to the long rhythm of the field. If this world made you slower, softer, even for a moment, stay. There are more pastures to wander. Tell me, what field do you belong to? Who stands beside you when the storm comes? And if you want to keep walking through stories where quiet hearts carry big truths, follow along. We'll meet again when the first light touches the grass.